You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. All right, folks, beginning today all across the country, the movie The Brian Banks Story is debuting in theaters nationwide. He's a young man. Of course, he was accused of rape. The woman who accused him, he went to prison. She later recanted. He was exonerated. Now it's going to the big screen. We were at Essence Festival in July. I had an opportunity to catch up with Brian Banks to talk about this powerful movie.
Boyhood dreams got no place in a man's life. You need to concentrate on getting employed. Forget about football.
21, biomedical center, Roland. When I was young, it was hard to see a way out. Football gave me an option.
Brian Banks with the tackle.
By the time I was 16, I had the attention of the NFL.
The sky is the limit for this kid.
So what happened? Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit. He lost 11 years. Scholarship. He was prevented from playing football. The system is broken. We have 10 months to clear his name.
If in that time they do not overturn your conviction, you'll be a prisoner again.
I need something big, something extraordinary.
It's extraordinary that I'm still here. I'm still standing.
Yeah.
You ever been locked up? It nearly killed me.
How did you survive it?
Almost did. And I met a man who showed me a different way. All you can control in life is how you respond to life. I know what I have to do now.
My son is innocent!
They tried to count me out.
You think you'll get another shot at the NFL?
Trust me, we got a plan.
It's not over.
I am innocent, and the truth matters. I know the system doesn't care about me.
But you didn't deserve what happened to you.
Brian's gonna run out of time.
It's not over.
I'll tell you what's extraordinary. I am.
First off, man, good to see you. We communicate on social media.
Thank you.
Finally,
Yes,
actually
we
get to meet as well.
Absolutely.
It still has to be surreal for you how this story has just reverberated around, and you are like so many other black men who have been accused of crimes, who've had to go to prison, who've had life derailed, but in some cases, guys were there 30, 40 years. Luckily, that wasn't the case for you.
Yeah, my case was definitely not a unique situation or not a rare situation, but the way it was handled and the expediency of it was definitely different. But yeah, it was definitely, you know, it was an experience, and it's a family experience. It's not only just something that I went through, but it was something that my mom went through, something that my brother and sister went through, and it's something that I always talk about is wrongful convictions not only affect the person who is incarcerated, but the family, the community, and so forth. So yeah.
And now, of course, with this movie, now by being on the big screen and being able to tell it, we think about When They See Us, what that did for the Exonerated Five, former Central Park Five. Storytelling allows for a different audience to learn about what happened.
It's so important that our stories, people of color, black men, black women, it's important that our stories are told. I think we kind of live in a life of normalcy where so many tragic things happen to us that we normalize it in our minds, and we don't share these stories because it's such a common experience that we go through. But I think it's important that we do turn these serious stories into forms of art for people who are not aware of the things that we encounter on an every single day basis, and for those who need to be educated upon the judicial system, how our society works, how our society views us, looks at us, and what we want to see change within our system. It's imperative that films like this are made and that we go out and support them. If we're not there to support them, then they assume that these stories don't matter.
How was it, though, for you to sit there and watch you on the screen, but it wasn't you, and you're having to watch your story and receive it the way everybody else receives it?
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I've had an opportunity of being in several screenings of the film, and you know, I do more of crowd watching now than I do the film. But for the first 3 times seeing it, it was hard to disassociate myself from the film because it was something that I actually lived and experienced. So watching certain moments of my life and tragic experiences be shown on the screen, it was like reliving it all over again. But I understand the importance and the value of making a film such as this. Yeah, it's cool to get my story out there for people to know who I am and what I've been through. That's cool. More importantly, this is a movie for those who cannot speak for themselves, those who are currently behind bars, who right now, as you and I speak, are in a cage for something that they didn't do.
And that's my last question. How does it make you feel when you hear somebody say, I didn't do this, and the public go, oh, they all say that?
You know, it's one of those things where I can relate all too well. There were so many days where I screamed big and played for somebody to listen and nobody did. And then when finally people started to listen, then other people started to come around and go, oh, he was telling the truth this whole time. I think it's just, you know, it's one of those situations where if you weren't there and you don't know what actually happened, it's hard to look at somebody and say, you know, I do believe you that you didn't commit this crime. But if there's substantial evidence, if there's clear proof that this person didn't commit this crime, and they can show you that, then you have a different situation, you got a different story. In my case, that was that situation. There was no DNA. There was no witnesses. This woman had 5, 6 different stories, and still, they put me behind bars for 6 years.
Brian Banks, looking forward to the movie. Brother, so glad to see you here.
Likewise.
And I think folks will certainly learn something from it.
Thank you. It's an honor to meet you in person finally. Thank you for everything that you do, keeping us informed. Please continue your work. We need it.
Will do. I appreciate it.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, folks, you've heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org. Why? Because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at more than $340 billion. We know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all of the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the United States and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. and creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. Folks, they need land to grow all of the plants. This is not rocket science. It's real simple. It's an incredible investment opportunity, and that's where our friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. My friends at 420 Real Estate decided to do something special for the Roland Martin Unfiltered fan base. Originally, the minimum investment level was $500. Right now, you can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200. That's right, anywhere from $200 up to $10,000. Let me recap. This is a $340 billion industry that is still growing. And you can participate with as little as $200. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Get in the game and get in the game now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.